my laptop. Let me see the laptop.
South Africa Sports Network, welcome to Champions Forum right here on our YouTube page. On a major streaming platform, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. And today, the second game in the UEFA Champions League semi-final taking place in France, and two European giants will be trading tackles in France. Manchester City chasing their first UEFA glory against Paris Saint-Germain. Against also chasing their first UEFA glory with Neymar and Mbappe. Who will be the star man of the show. Mauricio Pochettino, who was a losing coach with Tottenham Hotspur in 2019 against Liverpool, will be chasing to break his European duck when he faced Pep Guardiola Manchester City in that encounter. And yesterday we saw what happened between Chelsea and Real Madrid. That game ended 1-1 apiece ahead of the return leg at Stamford Bridge. A lot of Chelsea fans, we are happy with that result, looking at the importance of the away goal, while Real Madrid fans were a little bit of misgrid of a reaction to that outcome. But you can never predict what UEFA Champions League night will bring. It's called night of drama, European drama. We've seen a lot of drama happen in the UEFA Champions League, so that will not be an exception. My name is Sam. You already know what time it is. So talking about this today, it's my very good friend who is in that city of love. I'm talking about OJB Sports, who will be joining me on the show today to discuss Manchester City away trip to Paris Saint-Germain. OJB, welcome to Sports File on Africa Sports Network.
Bonjour mon ami.
Bonjour mon ami, bonsoir. Comment ça va?
Oui, ça va très bien, merci. Et vous?
Très camouflé la part. Peut-être maintenant voilà. Là on vient Alright, yesterday we saw the game between Chelsea and Real Madrid. Let's start from there before we delve into the big game tonight in France. Let me hear your thought on Chelsea versus Real Madrid.
Yesterday's game was a good game. As a Chelsea fan, I was disappointed that Chelsea didn't take the chances because Real Madrid in the first 45 minutes, they looked updated. The team were not connecting. And as a football lover and as a sports analyst, I said to myself that these chances that are begging to be taken, if Chelsea refused to take them in the first 45 minutes, because I wasn't giving them Madrid chance to see them scoring because they didn't look like they would score. I said to myself, if Chelsea did not score more than one goal or two goals in the first half, the second half, Zidane, knowing him to be Zidane, they would come out and play the best of football. But unfortunately, they got the goal for me as a Chelsea fan. Unfortunately, Madrid got the 1-1. This is the end of this game because there's no way Real Madrid will come out in the second half playing like they did in the first half. They would definitely pick it up and look at where the loopholes and amend it, and that was what happened.
All right, that Chelsea Real Madrid ended 1-0. Chelsea, invariably got that all important away goal. But at this stage of the competition, yes, the away goal is so much important. It's very, very much important. At this stage, it's very, very much important. Looking at what the outcome of the second leg might be. But Real Madrid don't seem to be that team that will come on an away trip and just try to, play out a draw, even though they did that against Liverpool, having beaten them 3-1 in Spain. They already got the result, but this time around they didn't get the job done at home. So what might be the mindset of Real Madrid coming to Stamford Bridge?
Real Madrid will come with the mindset of we want to come and score goals because they rely on scoring the second leg. But this Madrid team, for me, I question myself a lot. And even as Chelsea, I also question Chelsea team. Because this Madrid team in the league, they are scoring the lowest goal. This is the lowest goal they've scored in La Liga in the past 15 years. So this is the team, they don't possess the threat coming to or going to Stamford Bridge to get goals, to score goals freely again. And what I do is that they're only relying on Benzema now. And with Benzema is not in the party, not just the team as a whole is not in the party. We saw how Chelsea have played them in the big game. Conte was there, we even see how it's like Conte is 4 man on the So them going to Stamford Bridge, I don't think it's morally they want to play that yesterday because if I want to say they overachieved in this particular competition, they want to go with all that and believe that we've done it in the past. We can also go to Stamford Bridge to do it, but can they do it? Do we see them possess the threat right now? I don't think so.
Do you see them possess the trade? Right, let's go to the game at hand. Paris Saint-Germain at home against Manchester City. Man City, chasing their first European glory against Paris Saint-Germain. Let's look at the lineups are in. Marquinhos starting for PSG. Baker is going to play at right back. Man City made 4 changes from the team that played on Sunday. Foden starting over Raheem Sterling. What do you think is going on in the mind of Pep Guardiola? Do you think he's coming to Paris to pick a win or just to get an away goal advantage?
I think Man City and Pep Guardiola want to get a win today, but it's because this is why they brought him to Manchester City. They want him to deliver. Both teams have they've been spending a lot to win this particular tournament, the Champions League. And so with Pep Guardiola, we've known him how tactical he could be and how he is. So he will want to go. He will come here today to the Parc des Princes to get the maximum win. What can they? Will they? That is the big question. Like the lineup you just read out now, they have a Foden in place of Raheem Sterling. For me, it's Foden the man for a game like this. He is a fantastic player. He's been doing well. He's been scoring goals. But these players as well, there are stages that they tend to be found wanting. That would just wait to see it.
All right, this dynamic duo of Neymar and Mbappe, they are right there alongside Navas and alongside Florins and Marquinhos, Kibambe, Baker, Gueye, Paredes, Di Maria, Verratti, and these two terrific duo. And the funniest thing is this: Manchester City and PSG, I think they have the same owner, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be a family affair, a family. So how important do you think these two guys, Neymar and Mbappe, will be, tonight for PSG?
Neymar and Mbappe, they will be the decider, in my own opinion, because when you look at Man City, it's a team collective work. Like everybody knows what to do. But when you come to PSG, you are expecting the individual brilliance of Mbappe and Neymar to come into play, and whenever that is there, trust me, PSG are on. They are on for a big game. Whenever both players come to the party, so for Neymar and Mbappe today, I think I want to believe they will come out and do the much needed what they did against Bayern Munich. So I want to believe that they will do that today, and they have Verratti individuals who's going to hold try and subdue Manchester City midfield today. So I'm backing on PSG, Neymar, Mbappe to do the damage today.
When this semi-final draw was made after the boys were separated from the men, after in the last 8, now we have this last 4 standing. 2 English teams and 1 French and 1 Spanish team. We've seen this kind of result play out before. A team like Chelsea, yes, I can say that they are the underdogs here. Among these big 4, they are the underdog. Looking at the experience of Pep Guardiola, the experience of Zinedine Zidane, how many times he have won the Champions League. But when you consider Pochettino and Tuchel, I would say that Tuchel he lost against Bayern Munich the previous year before Pochettino lost to Liverpool. So these are 2 losing managers as against 2 managers who have won this championship various times. Let me get an assessment about these 4 teams.
It's these 4 teams, like you said, are the men standing. The boys have been separated from the men. But when you look at Chelsea, I'm not only speaking as a Chelsea fan. Chelsea seems to be the dark horse for this tournament, because when you look at how Thomas Tuchel had improved this team, how he has improved this team from a team that seems to be that don't have any fear factor. Now they have that fear factor right there. before Chelsea played Madrid, if it were to be Lampard, I'm sure everyone would have said, okay, it's over. But because it's Thomas Tuchel now, everybody knows what he is. I mean, they really concede 2, 3, 4 goals since he joined, and that tells you how he has improved the team. I'm coming to Manchester City. I'm a big fan of Pep Guardiola. I know this is the ultimate trophy for him. Although he said yesterday at the press conference that they are not worried about Champions League, their premiership is the priority. So I think it's just for everyone we know it's the Champions League or nothing. So with his experience and everything, he will want to. That is an advantage to him, and it's a slap on him because when he left Bayern Munich without the Champions League trophy, almost the same thing. Won the Champions League after he left. So it's not for him who wants to get this trophy now. It's a big one for him. Everything is at stake to go tonight. And then the second leg when he traveled to Manchester City. So because of his experience and having played in this tournament for him and having even won it. So I think he's also going to stand a chance. And coming to Paris Saint-Germain, last season's runner-up. You know, this tournament has a way of making runners-up champions. So PSG is just a team that could end up winning this trophy. That's another one we need to look. They've got the players, and the way they eliminated Bayern Munich tells you the kind of quality they have. And then Pochettino is not a trophy-winning coach. He has won one many already, so all that is a motivation for the team. And he's played Pep Guardiola in the past in Tottenham. He understands how he thinks, so that's also an advantage for them. And Madrid, the last team, I mentioned earlier that I think they've overachieved when it comes to this tournament.
Yes, they really overachieved.
They've overachieved, so I don't see them possessing any threat. Not because I'm a Chelsea fan, but I see Chelsea easily qualifying to the final.
Rather, when you look at the odds, according to the insight I have here, for between Man City and PSG, PSG are winless in their previous 3 matches against Manchester City in European competition. They drew 2 and they lost 1. City eliminated PSG 2015-2016 season, progressing in aggregate in knockout tie of 3-2. Kevin De Bruyne, getting the winner in the second leg at Etihad. PSG are looking for their second consecutive Champions League finals. You remember Liverpool were losing finalists to Real Madrid. They came back the next year and they beat Spurs to win it. But I think beating the champions Bayern Munich, beating the champion Bayern Munich will be like a catalyst for PSG going into this tie against Man City because they have 2 players that can make a difference, like you rightly said. Neymar and Mbappe, looking at their scoring record in the Champions League, is very terrific. So PSG are just a top team to reach the semi-final of the European Champions League after 17 in 75 and 76 and the Marseille in 90 and 91. So they have a lot of things going in for them. Looking at their current domestic form, Pochettino, yes, he didn't really have that winning mentality. He haven't lost to Liverpool, but at the end of the day, every dog has his day, and you just take one match to become a champion. Just like Klopp was stamped to be a losing finalist coach until he won and that was it. Won Champions League, won the Premier League, won UEFA Super Cup, won the World Club Cup. And now he's no more the losing finalist. So, okay, where do you think this game will be lost and won today?
For tonight's game, I think it's going to be a battle of the midfield. And if PSG, I think all PSG needed to be, no Man City will dominate. They will keep the ball, they will have the ball. That's the style of play. But the midfield is going to be a key decider today. And how will Kyle Walker, how will he track Mbappe today? Because Mbappe, we know him. The moment you give him space, he will be punished for that. So that's a big one. But for me, I think it's a midfield battle because you have. I'm just backing on Verratti to do the magic in the midfield like N'Golo Kante did yesterday for Chelsea. And with that, I think maybe 2, but there will be goals. Man City will score, PSG will score, maybe 2-1 or 3-1 in favor of PSG.
So over 2 legs, who are you tipping to go through?
Wow. PSG Chelsea for tonight.
PSG Chelsea, so who may eventually be a champion?
That's a big one. Because
I'll put you on the hot seat as a Chelsea fan. I want you to separate your heart of a fan and your cap as a professional right now. But your heart will want Chelsea to win. But as a pro, yes, Chelsea under Tuchel saw, they revamped under Tuchel because in all, my take is that whenever a new coach comes into a club, there's always that new vista, that new lease of life. Players will want to rise to the occasion to show the coach what they are capable of, for the coach to have them on his first 11. But maybe over time they start to fizzle out. A lot of people were thinking that after West Brom trashed Chelsea 5-2 at home, that was the turning point of Tuchel's career at Chelsea, to go on a downward spiral. But he didn't do that. He was able to correct that mistake, and Chelsea started flying again. And boom, this is where they are right now. In the finals of FA Cup, and also in the finals of in the semi-final of Champions League, and they might win double, they might end up going trophyless. That just sometimes the downside of being in at this stage of the competition, and also fighting for the top 4 finish in the Premier League. So it's not going to be an easy thing for them, because the number of matches they have increased, with them being at this stage of these various competitions. So going to the Champions League final will be a huge one for Thomas Tuchel, having lost to Bayern Munich last season, and for him to come maybe winning with Chelsea will be a huge statement. And I think Abramovich will repose that confidence in him, giving him that long-term contract and bringing out his checkbook, and giving him that blank check. You know what? Go get me Erling Haaland. You know what? Go get me that.
Yeah, I believe so. And it's going to be a big one for him. But Chelsea and they look rejuvenated under him. They look solid. They look, you can see the understanding. I think the only thing Chelsea lack now, not because I'm even a fan, is the points man to kill the ball, to bury the ball at the back of the net. That's what is missing in Chelsea's team now. But once they sort that out, Haaland is there, and once they sort Haaland, they'll maybe get a good striker. I think Timo Werner will pick up. It's just a matter of time. He will pick up. And credit to him, when he's not scoring, he's contributing. His runs most times make defender create open space for other Chelsea's player. He gets in the goals. That's something I like about him, but he's not burying the ball. But credit to Tuchel, he's done a great job so far, and I will want him to win the Champions League and win the FA Cup.
Yeah, that brings me to Timo Werner. His career at Chelsea, he hasn't really showed that. He has not shown us that Timo Werner was at RB Leipzig, even though he has contributed to a lot of Chelsea goals. But when he is in front of goal, I don't know if it is lack of confidence or just that he don't know the size, the length and the breadth of the goalpost. What do you think is a problem with Timo Werner? Looking at list of players that have come through Chelsea on a big price tag and they all flopped. Matthias Kensman coming to Chelsea, you saw how his career went. Fernando Torres making that £50 million switch from Liverpool to Chelsea, even though he came through at the most crucial point of Chelsea winning their first European glory, under Roberto Di Matteo. But in overall, he didn't really, kick the ground running. So now Timo Werner making that switch from Germany to Premier League. Do you think Premier League has a way of exposing a player deficiencies?
The Premier League is, arguably the best league in the world, and you have to be prepared, you have to be fast, you have to be quick, you have to be able to make decisions in split seconds. And a lot is saying, telling on Timo Werner. And you mentioned some players who played in the Premiership and they struggled in Chelsea, like Fernando Torres. He was scoring goals effortlessly in Liverpool, but came to Chelsea, he hardly scored. And Matthias Kensman from PSg, the highest goal scorer in the Eredivisie, he came to Chelsea, he couldn't score. Shevchenko as well came to Chelsea, he couldn't score. I think Timo Werner, it's a cost, or it's something Chelsea is still trying to work on, because since Didier Drogba left, we haven't found anyone as clinical as Drogba was.
No, Drogba was a special kind of striker. He was a special kind of striker.
They haven't found anyone. I don't think they don't make people like them anymore. But Timo Werner I think Timo Werner's problem is more of should I pass this ball?
Indecision.
So I think Timo Werner's Timo Werner's problem is more of decision making. Many times you see strikers trying or when they have the ball, they already make this decision. That's why people like Lionel Messi, they make these decisions faster. But Timo Werner, forgetting it's more of him making these decisions. Should I pass this ball? Should I score this ball? That's what Benzema is doing now, and that's why I respect him a lot. He's been playing in the shadows of Ronaldo, playing in the shadows of Bale, but now we see him scoring and contributing. But Timo Werner most times is decision making. Should I pass this ball? Should I score? And it's telling on it. The moment you're not confident or you don't know what to do, before a minute you see everything is done. So I think he's suffering from that. He needs more time to get his confidence back. He needs to start scoring. Maybe that will bring him back to his normal self.
He need more time to start scoring. And also Thiago Silva going back to PSG. He left PSG on a free transfer to Chelsea. Coming back to PSG and no, I'm mistaken right there. Thiago Silva is with Chelsea. So if they finally meet in the finals, Thomas Tuchel and PSG in the finals, I mean, it will be something kind of special. A coach that you relieve of his duties to bring another team to play you in the finals and maybe denying you the opportunity of winning that European shining piece of silverware. How would that be a karma to Paris Saint-Germain?
We all love situations like this. Yeah, we saw how Tottenham Hotspur lost the final. Almost everyone came at them and be like, you sacked the manager that you brought in to get your trophies, took you to the final, you guys let it go. Now, if Chelsea go to the final and they play PSG, everybody will want to see that. Don't pepper them, like we say it's in
pepper them gang. Pepper them gang.
It's not just the coach now, it's the coach and the former captain coming to hunt when it's going to be a big statement. And Tuchel didn't leave PSG as a result of not getting them well. It's an internal problem. So I think it's going to be a big one if we can get to the final and we defeat PSG. I hope PSG gets to the final.
If they can get to the finals and defeat PSG, what again would that be tonight in the first leg UEFA Champions League semi-finals? Away from that one Super Falcons striker Francesco Ojora just signed with UD with Levante in the Spanish and Feminine league. How important was her to get a club after being clubless for some time?
Not just Odega alone. Nomi also got signed for Minsk in Belarus. She got signed last week, if I'm not mistaken. And so Odega got signed today. They were both clubless for a couple of months in Nigeria. So it's a good one for them. It's a good one for Coach Randa Wadro. It's a good one for him to say, I guess, active. And where Odega signed for, we have a Nigerian league. I'm not sure now, but one of the parents is Nigerian, the other one is Spain. She plays with Levante youth team, and she made her debut last week. I think she scored as well. So it's a good one that we have Nigerians scattered around the world. Female footballers that are doing well, not just bringing players because we want them to represent our country, but good players. But with Odega signing and Donome signing, it's a good one. That yes, come next tournament we have our girls playing active football, and that will also tell in their game the games they play subsequently. It's a good one for us.
It's a good one for us, and you are very, very active there in Europe, covering both basketball, anything that has to do with Nigerian players taking part in it, and I follow you on social media, and I really have sometimes I chip into stuff you put on social media. A couple of weeks ago, the European Super League was born, and it lived prematurely and met a sudden death. Give me your insight. How do you think that will be the last time we will hear about the Super League, or are they back to the incubating stage to re-strategize and come out strong? And now UEFA have kind of reformatted the Champions League, increasing the number of teams, and the group stage kind of be like a mini league. How important was the Super League in kind of rejuvenating the Champions League from UEFA angle and point of view?
I don't think the Super League was intended to come and stay. And I'll give the reason why I say that, because if their intention was to come and compete with the UEFA, they would not have just died off like that. They would have made provisions for all these things. They would have prepared that there will be backlash. UEFA will do this, FIFA will do this. Players. So for me, all that, there's no way you tell me you are coming into a new, or you're organizing a new body and you didn't make provision for such things. So I think it was just to scare people and to see how it is. That's my personal opinion. But now coming back to Champions League, how Super League has made them maybe increase the number of games and everything. It's not a good one in my opinion, because we've seen players even come and complain that we're not thinking about our health. It's just game time, increasing more games. We have the league, we have the Carling Cup, we have the Champions League, we have the Europa League, we have FA Cup. You also have to consider these guys. We just saw what happened in COVID when football restarted. We saw players were playing 3 games in interval. That was how we saw players, some getting injured, some not fit, players running out. So all these things tell them, why is UEFA increasing it? Why do they feel the need to increase the number of teams that participate? I don't buy the idea. I don't. That's just for me. I just don't buy it.
He don't just buy the idea for UEFA increasing the number of games that these players will be playing. By the end of the day, UEFA acknowledged. I think that the ESL kind of was like a football insurrection in Europe. It was like an awakening call for UEFA, for them to be responsive to their to themselves or to the clubs when it comes to European competition. All right, let me get the last word from you, because we are like 17 minutes away from kickoff of this very, very important encounter between Paris Saint-Germain and Manchester City, first leg semi-final UEFA Champions League.
Oh, okay. I expect a good game. This is the kind of game we all want to see. It's going to be a top class game. Both teams attacking themselves. Man City, PSG. It's going to be an interesting game, like we expected against PSG and Bayern Munich. First leg and second leg, it was entertaining. Even though the second leg had a one goal, just scored by Bayern Munich, but it was entertaining. From the kick goal to the end. So I expect the same game like today, and I expect to be entertained as a fan today.
All right, he expect to be entertained as a fan today. OJB, I really appreciate you for your time talking to us from Paris, France. Let's enjoy the game. Probably half time we may come back again and break down the first 45 minutes and see who may end up taking home the victory tonight. Thank you very much, OJB, and bless you. Yes, sir. Yeah. That's OJB Sports live from France. He just spoke to us on Africa Sports Network. Champions Forum, UEFA Champions League, first leg semi-finals coming up in a bit. That game will kick off in less than 15 minutes. Manchester City away from home at the home of Paris Saint-Germain. Yesterday, Chelsea played out a 1-1 draw against 13 times champion Real Madrid, conquerors of Liverpool, and Chelsea coming back to Stamford Bridge with that all-important away goal, and that gave the Blues faithfuls a glimmer of hope that they will be in another finals many years after they won it, led by Didier Drogba, Frank Lampard, Mikel Obi, and Etel. So will Chelsea be the one in the finals by next week, or will Real Madrid defy all odds to be in another finals? Real Madrid have achieved a lot when it comes to Champions League. For Manchester City, they are chasing their first European glory. For PSG want to appear in their back-to-back finals of the Champions League. Mauricio Pochettino, Thomas Tuchel took them. Pochettino lost to Liverpool, while Tuchel lost to Bayern Munich. So how all this game will pan out is left to be seen. 45 minutes coming your way from France. My name is Sam. Thank you for watching Africa Sports Network. You can follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel for content like this. Bye-bye, and God bless you.